Hey everybody, guess what this video is about? Yes, the NX. Anybody got a problem reporting so much about this damn console or this whatever it's going to be? I do. I've seen a couple other rumors pop up, and it's the same stuff. Nobody's really talked about. We're in 20 days into January 2016. This month's going to be gone, and it's something else. But I saw something on just IGN. I've checked it like Destructoid, Nintendo News, a lot of other places. Maybe they're about to pick this up, and let's see how long ago this was posted. Come on now, work with me. I don't know if it shows me a timestamp, but more NX rumors. 100% rumors. Not saying any of this is, none of this is concrete, but it's from some interesting Twitter posts. And let's take a look at this. Let's dive into this article. And stuff's going to pop up here on the screen. I'm going to take these shots, which they took, IGN took straight from Twitter, and show you what we're talking about here. Like it says, a pair of NX-related reports have surfaced offering a handful of potential clues, yada, yada, yada. According to a post on Twitter by Wall Street Journal reporter, and I'm going to mess this up, Takashi Mochizuki. I'm sorry, I keep messing those names up. I'll pop that up here so you can see it. Nintendo's new console, next console, may work with other devices, PCs, smartphones, and other consoles like the PS4. And here's his exact, like I said, it should be on the screen. Very interesting. Report by at Gibbet Gaibo Game. Nintendo's NX may work with smartphones, PCs, even rival consoles such as PlayStation 4. And this goes on to say, aside from the fact that Mochizuki received the information from David Gibson, which that's that Gaibo Game, or Gaibo Game, however you say it, the head of research at, this is another hard one, Macquarie Capital Securities in Japan, wow, I can't talk today, an actual source for the information was not provided. As like they say, as such, this report's a grain of salt, a big grain of salt. But we've seen this guy repost other stuff before, Mr. Takashi. So, some people are starting to let stuff leak. It's just, this is interesting. But there's another one that seems like even, excuse me, even better because it shows a picture. This is by from a guy named Liam Robertson. And this article says, additionally, an apparent survey from GFK, a client of Nintendo, has surfaced online by way of Twitter user Liam Robertson, providing new details about the NX. In addition to mentioning connectivity between handhelds and consoles, okay, let me just read this. I'm going to zoom in here. It's kind of fuzzy. I actually got it up here on Twitter. It shows a screenshot, survey progress, and it says GFK, their logo. You will now see some information about the Nintendo NX console. And here's some bullets. Exclusive game franchises featuring Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and more. And you gotta see Mario and Zelda, which Zelda's about to hit the Wii U. Maybe. Interesting. Is a new game just for the NX? Hey, that'd be great. Connect with other Nintendo players around the world via the Nintendo Network, which they have been improving, and they're trying to probably bring it up to Xbox Live and PSN standards. Gameplay flows between the NX console and Nintendo NX handheld device. That's what we've been seeing a lot of. The handheld it may or may not have a screen. It's like they're a symbiosis. So maybe you can take your game. Take your game upstairs, take your game somewhere else, kind of like what the Wii U does, maybe. Again, a lot of rumors, but they're showing more and more stuff here that's kind of confirming what we've been seeing. This is interesting. Earn and share gaming achievements. Triumphs and defeats with your gaming friends and the Nintendo gaming community. Again, catching up with Nintendo and Sony. Surf the web or make a video call on your TV. Connect 2.0, Xbox One, and Skype. So, hey, they're bringing that up to the standards. Supports 4K, 60 frames per second video streaming. That's pretty cool. Gameplay graphics at 900p, 60 frames per second. I know that's going to make a lot of people just go, ew. I thought about this. I really did. I thought about this, and these new consoles, these current consoles, they're, the 1080p thing happens like Fallout 4, and I think Doom is going to be 1080p across them, but the PS4 can push a little bit more graphics fidelity. It's not fanboyism. I've shown people I've got both. Like I said, the last thing I tried was the Battlefront beta. I didn't get into Battlefront. The graphics were a little bit better, just a tad on the PS4, but they're still in some of these big games pushing 900p. So the 1080 is not all the way there, and 1080 and 900p are very close. And when you view a TV at the proper distance, you're probably not going to tell much of a difference. But what's cool, if this rumor's true, is 60 frames per second. If that's like locked in and they can push 60 frames per second and then knock it down to 900, which your TV's going to upscale it anyway, that might be, not a lot of games are 60 frames per second on both of those on these current gen consoles. That might be cool. Some people are going to thrash it. If this actually comes out as 900p, 60 frames per second, people are going to get pissed off. Frankly, I wouldn't care. That's so close to 1080p. If they can hold 60 frames per second, awesome. And 4 more bullet points. What's in the box? NX console, sensor bar, game controller, HDMI cable. Of course, I'd say there's a power cable in there. They're just telling you stuff. Of course, the power cable should be a default thing. Sensor bar. Maybe they're still having some motion tracking stuff. Again, this is the rumor, but this is a screenshot tweeted of a real survey by GfK. Let me look up, as I'm talking here, GfK. Who are these people? GfK Market Research Company, established in 1934. The German's largest market research institute and the 4th largest market research organization in the world after Nielsen Company, Kantar Group, and Ipsos. There's somebody big, and they're being screenshotted as doing a survey about the NX. So they got to have information. This survey part is more creditable, and I'm not calling the other guys here, David Gibson or Mr. Takashi, liars. But this is better information because we see, a marketing firm, the biggest, asking questions, and here are specs. What do you think? That's all I really got in this. I don't know what it means. The only thing that's interesting is working with consoles. More likely it's streaming. That's all they can do. They're not going to be able to break into the Xbox ecosystem or the PlayStation ecosystem. Probably they're going to allow some type of streaming in between if, say, they have to put apps on those consoles in Nintendo if Microsoft and Sony approve them, or there's some type of maybe HDMI in. I don't know. The other piece of information that kind of makes me go, it's a sensor bar. If that's right, and, GfK is pretty big, what's that sensor bar for? Is there some motion control built into the controller? We don't know. Tell me what you think. I know another NX rumor video, but this is pretty cool. This is interesting because, like I said, we're seeing real marketing research out there about specs of the NX and what it can do. Do you think it's looking good so far? Do you think this is going to be the console that Nintendo needs to put out? Let me know in the comments below. So this is Pikio Gamer.